A humanitarian aid airdrop inside the Gaza Strip kills 5 Palestinians and no one bats an eye. Because apparently it's okay for other militaries to accidentally kill Palestinian civilians, but when Israel does it, it's considered a genocide. Joe Biden says that Israel will cross a red line if they carry out an operation in the last Hamas stronghold in Gaza. I'm talking about Rafah, clearly trying to save the rest of Hamas. The U.S. is sending a large military ship to the Mediterranean to deliver aid to Gaza via sea. And Hamas might just have big plans for Ramadan. No, I'm not talking about anything good. Guys, all this and more, stay tuned. I'm Josiah, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Guys, we have a lot of exciting things to talk about today, including some remarks made by Joe Biden last week. Sorry we talk about Joe Biden so much, but unfortunately, it's kind of the forefront of the news as he's picking on Israel every single day. Guys, first, make sure to subscribe here on YouTube, hit that notification bell, and hit the like button if you enjoy watching our videos here on YouTube. It really helps us get out there to more people and helps us fight the YouTube censorship inside the algorithms. Also follow us on our social media pages. We'd be greatly appreciate you doing that for us. Guys, we have an exciting announcement. The Israel Guys, here at the Israel Guys, we are hosting the Israel Summit in May, a conference in Nashville, Tennessee at the Sonesta Hotel in Nashville, May 20th through 22nd. It's going to be a fantastic conference, and we love to see all of you guys there. We already have some amazing confirmed speakers for the event, including Yishai Fleischer from Hebron, Ari Abramowitz and Jeremy Gimpel from the Arugod Farms. We have Yair Levy, an Israeli songwriter, musician, amazing, talented man. And we've invited many more speakers that we're hoping going to be able to make to this conference. Guys, sign up as soon as possible to make sure you confirm your spot here at the conference. It's going to be held in May again in Nashville, Tennessee. Guys, the link will be down in the description to sign up for that conference. Guys, the purpose of this conference is to gather pro-Israel Christians from around the U.S. And standing in support of Israel and supporting Israel to keep all of God's land. God gave the land of Israel to the nation. God gave the land of Israel to the people of Israel. And right now the world is trying to rip it away from Israel's hand. And we can stand up and say that we support Israel to keep all of God's land. Sign up for the conference down in the description below. Okay, so on Friday, a humanitarian aid airdrop. They've been airdropping U.S., Jordan, in coordination with France and Egypt, have been, I believe maybe Canada as well, have been airdropping humanitarian aid, food supplies into the Gaza Strip over the last week. And I was actually down on the Gaza border on Thursday and witnessed some of these airdrops myself being dropped on the inside of the Gaza Strip. So on Friday, they did an airdrop. The U.S. and Jordan were both a part of this airdrop. Part of the parachutes malfunctioned, and these packages came down way too fast and killed 5 Palestinians and injured 10 more. A witness that was there in the Gaza Strip that witnessed the drop said, quote, "All of a sudden, the parachutes didn't open. The packages fell down like a rocket on the roof of one of the houses. 10 minutes later, I saw people transferring 3 martyrs and other injured who were staying on the roof of the house where the aid packages fell." So the eyewitness here is saying that these parachutes just plummeted to the ground and killed several Palestinians. Interesting that he calls them martyrs. These guys were just killed by an aid package. They're still considered martyrs in Arab culture, which kind of, I think, tells you a little bit about what goes on inside of the Arab mentality, the Palestinian mentality. The drop was originally reported as being from the United States as part of the U.S. airdrop, but America later denied that these packages were dropped from a U.S. plane. Interestingly enough, though, Jordan, who was also a part of the airdrop, also denied that they were responsible for these deadly packages that killed 5 Palestinians. I guess the main point here is that nobody really batted an eye. It wasn't talked about much in the media. And if this had been an Israeli airdrop, if Israel had been airdropping food over the Gaza Strip and one of the packages had killed 5 Palestinians, or multiple packages have killed 5 Palestinians, the crazy part is that would have been world headlines. It would have been all over social media immediately. Everybody would have reported that Israel deliberately killed dozens of Palestinians in an airdrop. Not even mentioning the fact that Israel was trying to help. They probably would have called Israel for evil for trying to dropping these. I don't know. The point is, we've seen it multiple times. There's something happens, and if Israel does it, it gets blown out of proportion, and Israel's called evil for doing any of it. And if somebody else does it, it's like, oh yeah, that was an accident, and oh well, we're sorry people died, but it couldn't be helped. And the fact that all these, it seems like it could have been a U.S. plane that actually dropped these packages. Don't exactly know for sure what happened. Doesn't really matter who did it. But the point is that dropping aid, it sounds really good. Dropping aid from an airplane, humanitarian aid, and a lot of military experts say it's a very inefficient way to actually get aid into a place. Normally, airdrops are done in places that cannot be accessed any other way. The UN and other aid organizations have made it clear that airdrops are actually very, very inefficient and not a good way to get aid into Gaza at all. The best way being convoys of trucks, which Israel has been consistent to facilitate inside the Gaza Strip, even when it came at a threat to Israel, a security threat, because there were weapons being smuggled into the Gaza Strip through these aid trucks, and the fact that these trucks are being confiscated by Hamas and being used for the Hamas leadership, the Hamas terrorists, and not actually getting to some people who are actually starving inside of Gaza. Also, interestingly enough, Hamas themselves, after this incident happened, said that these airdrops were futile, like that they're not helpful at all, which is interesting that Hamas would actually come out and say that. But I guess the point is that it seems that these airdrops being initiated by the U.S., by Jordan, by France. This is all a big show. It's all a big show. It's very flashy. It's very impressive. People like to talk about it. And unfortunately, it's not really actually helping the situation on the ground. Yes, some people are getting food, but unfortunately, in this case, people died from the aid coming in, like what happened last week, the week before, with the convoy that went in and was there's quite a few Palestinians were killed as a result of the stampede of thousands of Palestinians that swarmed the trucks and tried to steal the aid off the truck. After Thursday's the State of the Union address by President Joe Biden, he was on the floor talking to somebody on the floor of the House there, and Joe Biden was caught on a hot mic saying that he told Bibi he was going to have a come to Jesus meeting with him, referring to bringing more aid, getting more food to the Palestinians inside of Gaza. He said, I talked to Bibi that I was going to have a come to Jesus meeting with him. Also, on Saturday, in an interview with MSNBC, Biden indicated that if Israel goes into Rafah to root out Hamas, Rafah is the last Hamas stronghold inside of Gaza, the southern part of Gaza. Israel has gone through the major cities throughout Gaza and rooted out most of the battalions of Hamas terrorists. Rafah is like the last stronghold there. Joe Biden said that if Israel goes to root out Hamas from Rafah, and Israeli operations carried out there, then that would be a red line for the U.S. It would be a red line. And he also, interestingly enough, he also said in the same interview that the defense of Israel is critical. Talking out of two sides of his mouth here. Guys, this is absolutely crazy because Joe Biden is all but threatening Israel to stop the war against Hamas inside of Gaza, while at the same time saying that he supports Israel. Unfortunately, guys, this is Jew-hating hypocrisy at its finest, coming from the commander-in-chief of the United States. And personally, as an American volunteer who's volunteering here in the land of Israel right now, I am completely disgusted and ashamed of my government, the government of the United States, for their behavior and for their manner and basically threatening Israel, saying you have to stop the war, you have to create a ceasefire, you have to give aid to the Palestinians, you can't go in and kill the rest of Hamas terrorists because we don't want you to. And there's all these things that just keep coming out. They're trying to force Israel to a hostage deal, all this crazy stuff. And meanwhile, Israel is trying their best to take care of this evil, this massive evil, the greatest threat, this greatest ugly threat of anti-Semitism that has raised its head since the Holocaust. October 7th massacre is what I'm referring to. Hamas rearing its head and attacking the nation of Israel. Israel is doing its best to protect their citizens by destroying this immediate threat that has been threatening Israel for many, many years and finally culminated in the October 7th attack. Guys, I will not stand silently by while my President Joe Biden of the United States of America is trying his hardest to prevent the Jewish people from protecting their people and land. And I would encourage you too, if you're watching, if you're an American, if you're a Christian Zionist, even if you're not a Christian, but support Israel and can just see the truth. Somebody who can think for themselves, see the facts on the ground. And I would encourage you to speak out against what our president is doing, and encourage our government to turn their stance around and actually support the nation of Israel, because it's the right thing to do, for one, and for two, it benefits the nation of the United States of America to have Israel strong as our ally inside the Middle East, and it's safe. It creates more safety for America if Hamas is completely destroyed. The terrorist, mind you, the terrorist barbaric organization of Hamas is completely destroyed. It's in America's best interest for Israel to root them out of Gaza completely. I want to tell you about one of the best ways to support Israel right now. You should join the Heartland Challenge. Pick one item that you use on a regular basis and commit to only purchasing that item from Judea and Samaria, falsely known as the West Bank. If you're wondering how you can purchase products made from Judea and Samaria, our friends at Blessed by Israel make it super easy for you. They source unique, incredible boutique products from small businesses located here in Judea and Samaria, and they ship those products straight to your doorstep. Now, we've partnered with Blessed by Israel for many, many years. We've partnered with them now to promote the Heartland Challenge, encouraging supporters of Israel like you from all over the world to commit to using certain products only from Judea and Samaria. So whether it's olive oil, tea, soap, ceramics, chocolate, coffee, or something else, Blessed by Israel is encouraging everyone to buy what you believe in and then share your message with your friends and community. Guys, it's time to build and invest in the land of Israel, specifically the heartland of Israel. Join the Heartland Challenge and start making a difference today. To find out more, go to blessedbyisrael.com. That's blessedbyisrael.com. blessedbyisrael.com to find out more. For our audience, if you use the code INVEST, INVEST, at checkout, you can get $5 off your first order. Guys, let's go make a difference. Link is down in the description below. Also, Joe Biden is backing up all his statements about giving more aid to Gaza by sending a military vessel to the Mediterranean to deliver aid. Now, they've tried, they've done land. Now they've been experimenting by air. It hasn't really turned out so well. Now they're going to go try by sea, delivering aid to Gaza via the Mediterranean Sea. This is from Channel 7 News, reported that U.S. Central Command announced on Saturday night that the U.S. Army vessel General Frank S. Besson has departed the Langley, Joint Base Langley Eustis, en route to the Eastern Mediterranean. The vessel will provide humanitarian aid to Gaza by sea. Let's just try more ways to get more aid and more food into Gaza. Guys, it's very frustrating because the U.S. seems to actually be causing more problems for Israel in this Hamas war. They're causing probably the prolonging of the war, if I go so far as to say that by sticking their nose and doing everything they can, basically, if the U.S. would just support Israel's mission to wipe out Hamas from Gaza, from Rafah specifically, instead of trying everything in their power to stop Israel and to completely get in Israel's way by carrying out these airdrops, by forcing more trucks in through the border, by these naval deliveries to Gaza. Now, this is going to be a security I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a military expert, but I can't imagine just trying to coordinate all this stuff. Israel is having to coordinate all these planes flying over, now these military vessels coming in from the Mediterranean Sea. And it just seems painfully clear that the war is actually being prolonged by the U.S. and other countries doing their hardest to and they're saying, and to actually, in their words, excuse me, they are saying that they're trying to help Palestinian civilians. But unfortunately, the facts on the ground do not reflect that, because they're actually helping Hamas. They're actually keeping Hamas alive longer. They're feeding Hamas by sending these aid trucks in, and they're buying Hamas precious time by trying to negotiate hostage deals with Israel and Hamas. Meanwhile, Hamas has made it clear, and just from a report that came out just the other day, it has made it clear that they are not interested in a hostage deal. They are not interested in dealing with Israel to release the hostages. The Prime Minister's office just put out a statement from the Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, saying that Hamas is not interested in a hostage deal at all. And in fact, they actually have quite different ideas in mind. The statement reads, quote, Mossad Chief David Barnea met with the head of the CIA, Bill Burns, as part of the unending efforts to advance another agreement to bring back the hostages. At this stage, Hamas is redoubling its position as one who is not interested in a deal and is aiming to ignite the region during Ramadan at the expense of the Palestinian civilians in the Gaza Strip. So the Mossad is saying, Israel's intelligence agency, which Israel has one of the best intelligence agencies in the world, if not the best, they're saying that Hamas is redoubling its position, is not interested at all in a hostage deal, and that they're actually planning Ramadan, which is starting. They're actually planning to ignite the region during Ramadan, not only in Gaza, but also in Judea and Samaria, where Hamas actually has a very strong presence, Judea and Samaria, and throughout other parts of Israel. No, they're not interested in a peace deal. They're not interested in a ceasefire deal with Israel, even though a ceasefire would be very good for Hamas, the Hamas terrorists inside of Gaza. Instead, they are interested in creating more terror, in killing more Jews, igniting the region. And this is going to be during their holiday, the holiday, if you can call it that, which is normally a terror holiday here in Israel, 30-day holiday. They're more interested in creating that sort of atmosphere and more terror throughout Judea and Samaria, and also inside the Gaza Strip, pushing outwards into Israel, creating terror for the nation of Israel. Guys, there are a lot of crazy things going on not only in the world, just with the world politics, but especially when it comes to Israel. So I would encourage you to continue to lift up Israel in your prayers. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem, as it says in the Psalms. And let's stand up. Let's be bold. Let's speak out for the nation of Israel. Take it to wherever you have a place to speak, whether that's actual public speaking on behalf of the nation of Israel, whether that's going on your social media and speaking out, going on Facebook, going on Twitter, reposting pro-Israel content that you see on the news, reposting truth. I'm talking about truth when it comes to Israel. Each of us can do, if we each do a little part, then we can actually make a difference and help Israel fight the war. They're not only waging a war on the ground in Israel and on the north, inside of Judea and Samaria, on Gaza. They're not only waging a flesh and blood battle, they're also waging a war on the internet, waging a war in the media. And that's what we here at the Israel Guys are trying to do, is to help just get more truth out there. Tell people what's actually happening from an on-the-ground source here in the land of Israel. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to check out Blessed by Israel. You can support the land and people of Israel by buying products from Judea and Samaria, buying Israeli authentic products. Click the link down in the description below to learn more and buy those products today. Guys, don't forget to subscribe and get that conversation going down in the comments below. As always, tune out the fake news and tune into what is actually happening here in the land of Israel. We'll be back every day, Monday through Friday, with your direct connection to the land and people of Israel.